It's fair. I like
Okay.
that for sure.
Speaking of kids as well, I came across something where, I thought it was interesting as well. So, we know the age-old joke bit theory of like fathers being scared to have daughters or whatever. But I never really heard too often about mom or women saying they don't want to have sons. So a girl was like, the thing about women not wanting a son is so real and valid because sadly no amount of had home teaching and sacrifice is a match for socialization and patriarchy. Like really might just hate women and you when it's all said and done. And then somebody over said, viewing men as inherently evil and unfixable becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We don't believe that they can be better, so we don't hold them to the same standards. The idea is throwing away little boys without even trying to raise a better future. And I thought that was just one, the first girl just being so dark about having a son just made me think about your capabilities, even being a good parent is like, wow, the idea you think no matter what you're going to do to this child, he's going to be some fucking demon man as a person in the future or whatever. But I respected the woman on top of saying, yeah, like, again, women complain about the shit that they could be a part of fixing on a simple basis of like, your son, if men are so terrible, your son could be an exception to the rule.
Yeah, you at least make him the exception.
Right.
Like my mom made me the exception.
Yeah, but so any thoughts about that where a woman being scared to have a son?
I never heard that before. I never even thought about it. It never even crossed my mind. So I'm still processing the initial comment because I never thought about a man growing up to hate a woman that was raised by. I don't know. I don't really buy into that concept. I think men are frustrated with the shit that women do. I don't think that men really hate women. I ain't saying there's some men out here that just flat out because I can't speak for them, but I'm saying like a lot of them, like you gotta understand, if you ever see a man cursing this woman out, what is it for? I know the answer, but if you don't, I would tell you. So
go for it.
No, I want to hear if you.
A man curses a woman out?
In most cases, what are you frustrated at your girl for?
Spending some money?
All right, that's fair. But in most cases, and more than that, it's for lack of common sense.
Fair.
If a man is ever cursing out a woman, his frustrations come from passion of lacking common sense. Not talking about disrespectful, low vibrational men that you shouldn't even be dealing with. Like this man can't even structure a sentence correctly. We talking about the average man that has a high school plus education, that has a blue collar job, business, whatever. If you ever catch him curse, he's gonna curse his woman out for the same shit he's gonna curse his kids out for. Doing some shit he told him not to do, not listening, and lack of common sense.
And now he gotta fix it, probably.
Now I gotta fix it. And that's the frustration. So when they see a man's passion and him getting all passionate and assertive, they think it comes behind hate because they think that talking soft comes behind love. But if I'm saying, I fucking love you, and I'm saying, you're a dumbass bitch. The dumbass bitch felt better because it was softer, but which stung harder? You follow what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but the fact of the matter is, so it's like when they try to create that narrative, it's like, nah, y'all think that anything a man don't agree with that y'all do has to stem from hate. No, we just see the world differently. So that I do believe we live in a patriarchal society, but I think that, fuck the whole patriarchy. I think that it's hierarchy. I don't think it's hierarchy. That's just what it is. We live in a hierarchy society, and it's understood and accepted and validated at work where you have a boss, you have a manager, you have a supervisor, you have you know what I mean? It's a totem pole. You understand that. But in the household, it's like, no, we got to be equal. No, it's a fucking hierarchy. And the hierarchy is, I'm the leader. You want me to be the leader? I'm the leader. I'm the captain of the ship. If the ship sank, it falls on me. So with that being the case, I have to have final say. I have to have a vision, because one thing for sure, two things for certain, if this shit go all right, you ain't gonna be like, yeah, we was equal. You're gonna say, all right, the world gonna say, well, what's your man do? Well, why didn't he? So it's like, as men, y'all gotta inherently understand that, take that into consideration and utilize that. But to go back to your whole hating, that comment just is senseless to me, because I don't believe that to even be a thing. Like, I don't think if your boy grew up hating women, he probably hated his mom. And if he hated his mom, probably because she did fucked up shit to him. He don't just wake up and just hate your mom. Like let's call a spade a spade. I don't know no boy that just like, my mom's perfect, fuck her, I hate her. Like, it normally be like, she abandoned me, she did this, she did that. And it's like, even in those situations, it's like, man, y'all gotta stop blaming, we men at the end of the day. Like, I know the whole safe space / respected space, feeling the need to have it, but at some point it comes to a count where it's like, all right, I didn't deal my hand, but I could play it. I can't control the situation I was born into, but I could definitely change the outcome of the one that I live. And we got to take that safe space shit off the table to a degree, because it becomes lack of accountability. And that's cool for women and children. Y'all can go to as much safe space. Y'all need to feel safe and protected. But as men, we got to push the needle and push the world forward. And we got to have respected spaces where, like, I got to be able to open up and say, this is how I feel and this is what I'm going through, and I can be vulnerable. But at the same time, create your own safe space by not giving a fuck. That's why my space safe. I'm gonna say what I want because I don't care. I'm not looking to be validated, approved, or loved. I'm looking to be respected. And because I'm looking to be respected, I'm gonna do what's respectable in all cases. And sometimes being respected takes being vulnerable. For them to understand, you know what, damn, I respect that boy opened up like that. Oh, nigga, respected. I'm like, yo, damn, that shit really hurt. He shows, yeah, I respect. Then I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta stay. They make it like we gotta be so macho. Nah, we just don't need to tap that far into the emotions to be able to exist.
What did you ever so back to the type of child you have, was there ever any apprehension, fear about having daughters, or even as they grew?
I wanted sons. I needed daughters. I did not need sons. I wouldn't have grew. I wouldn't have developed. I wouldn't have even thought about the worry of the world of a woman's experience without having daughters. Like, like I'm already a manimous. Like I'm already that, right? But at the same time, having daughters made me realize the role of being a protector. Like, because it's easy to teach your sons how to protect themselves, and you would step in if you have to, but with daughters, there's no option. So I don't gonna say I have fear. I mean, you got a young boy fear, like, when my daughter get older and have a boyfriend. It's like, now I just coach my daughter, and I know that when she get a boyfriend, I'm coaching him too. I ain't gonna try to dictate and control, but I'm having a relationship with him. We're gonna be cool. Any boy that comes, I tell the women in my family, every man you bring around, I want to meet. I want to have my own conversation with them for multiple reasons. I want them to know there's men in this family and that certain shit we just ain't going for. And for two, I want to see the character of these men because we the ones building up the family at the end of the day. So we got to be able to protect the inheritance and make sure that y'all not about to fuck somebody into the family and they a fucking bum. So it's no different for my daughters. Like, they understand that I'm very security minded and I'm very much like, I need to understand the boy that you gonna have around. And I coach them in a way to know that don't be dealing with boys that make you feel like this, that put you in these type of predicament. Well, at least my oldest daughter, because my other daughter, she a baby. But she 9, so I got a little bit more time. But my 15-year-old is like, it's the inevitable. But I feel more empowered knowing that we talk about it. Like, she'll tell me, like, I don't get to all the day-to-day details, and that's for your mom. But I always tell her, why would you go to your mom about boy advice? No disrespect, but it's like, you have a dad, and it's like, you don't just have any dad. And it's like, I ain't saying like, but it's like, why not go to the source? Like, if I want to know about a woman, I'm gonna go to my mom. I'll go to my homies or my dad or a male to get certain like elements of how to deal with a woman. But when it comes to like trying to understand a woman, go to a fucking woman. Yo, why does she do this? Can you explain this in girl math and girl
So you can't explain it either. Fair.
So y'all all just don't make sense. All right, so what the fuck? Like, I mean, we gonna ask about a homie now.